You don't know this, that some of the most important battles in American history weren't just fought by soldiers, but also by everyday people, even kids. Let's travel back in time over 200 years ago to a time before the United States was even a country. Back then, America was made up of 13 colonies, ruled by a powerful king far across the ocean in Great Britain. Imagine living in a town where soldiers in bright red coats were a common sight. At first, things were okay, but soon the king started making rules that the colonists felt were unfair. It was like a parent telling you to do all the chores, but you didn't get any say in the rules of the house. He made them pay extra money, called taxes, on everyday things like tea and paper. The colonists tried to talk to the king, sending letters and holding meetings, but he wouldn't listen. They famously said, "No taxation without representation," which is a fancy way of saying we shouldn't have to pay if we don't get a voice. This disagreement grew bigger and bigger, like a snowball rolling down a hill. One chilly night in Boston, a group of colonists, frustrated with the tax on tea, dressed up and snuck onto British ships. They did something incredible. They threw hundreds of chests of tea right into the harbor. This event, known as the Boston Tea Party, wasn't a real party with cake and balloons, but it was a huge message to the king that the colonists were serious. Finally, the talking stopped and the fighting began. On a spring morning in 1775, in the towns of Lexington and Concord, the first shots of the American Revolutionary War were fired. It was a brave and scary time. Farmers, blacksmiths, and shopkeepers picked up their old muskets to defend their homes and their belief in freedom. They were called the Minutemen because they had to be ready to fight at a minute's notice. One of the most famous stories from this time is about a silversmith named Paul Revere. He rode his horse through the night, shouting, "The British are coming," to warn everyone that the redcoat soldiers were on the move. His famous midnight ride helped the colonists prepare for the battle. It shows how one person's courage can make a huge difference. The war lasted for 8 long years. It wasn't easy. The colonial army, led by a tall, determined general named George Washington, faced many hardships. They were often outnumbered and didn't have enough food, warm clothes, or supplies. But they had something the powerful British Army didn't. They were fighting for their own land, their families, and a brand new idea. The idea of a country where the people could choose their own leaders and make their own laws. Young people played a part, too. Boys as young as 12 or 13 served as drummer boys or messengers, bravely running across battlefields to deliver important notes. Girls and women back home managed the farms, made uniforms, and sent supplies to the soldiers. Everyone did what they could to support the cause of independence. After many struggles and with some help from friends in other countries like France, the colonists finally won. In 1783, the war officially ended, and the United States of America was born. The brave men and women of the Revolutionary War fought for the freedoms we have today. They proved that when people unite for a cause they believe in, they can achieve incredible things. Their story is a reminder that courage, determination, and the fight for fairness can change the world. Thanks so much for watching and taking this trip back in time with me. If you enjoyed this story, don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe for more amazing tales from history. See you next time.